Hello and welcome to the King's Forum podcast show. I have a very special guest, Lyriqe, singer, songwriter, producer. Hi, Lyriqe. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Thanks for coming on the show, being a
It's a
guest. I
pleasure
know
to be here.
we've been trying to do this for a while, so we finally got it together, up and running.
Yeah,
So,
it's about
Lyriqe,
time.
you just tell a little bit about yourself and
Oh, well, I think you said it. I'm 25. I'm a singer-songwriter, producer, um, from Birmingham, and
cool,
I make R&B music, mostly. Sometimes a bit of jazz, a little bit of blues, but mostly R&B head over here.
cool. So, where did your love for singing and when did that begin?
I'd say it's been my whole life, to be honest, but the time that it really stands out to me is when I was about 4 years old, and my elder sister was on stage at school and she forgot the words that I believe I can fly. So I ran up there and I was like, I'll save you. And then everyone was like, oh my God, she can actually sing. And then from there, I've just never stopped.
You know what? I love that when you're a kid. You know that fearless, just for you just to
Yeah,
go up there. Like now you're
I would
older,
never
you'll
do
be like, what?
that now. I'd be like, how did you forget the word? I believe. But yeah,
You know that whole fearless thing as a child. You're just like, yeah, let's. I'm just doing it. You're just like
yeah.
now as the older you get, you're just always overthinking. Like, why am I going up
Because
there for? Um,
you don't want to steal the stage from someone. I remember in that moment just thinking to myself, like, I can't let her drown right now. Like, look,
I
look
like
at her, just so scared. Like, ah. So,
sisterly love,
pardon?
sisterly love. Yeah,
Yeah, most definitely,
yeah, yeah,
definitely. That hasn't changed up until
yeah.
today.
You have each other's backs. That's good. That is.
Hmm. Always.
So from that love, I guess you then thought of pursuing a career in entertainment. Was that the real thing?
Pretty much, I've never really thought of anything else. Like, we were always told you can be what you want to be. Like, whatever your dreams are, as long as you work towards them, you can make that happen. So I used to just look at the TV, and that was me. That's where I'm gonna be. I see Whitney, that's me. I see Mariah, that's me. I see Beyonce, that's me. I was just like, I'm gonna be right there with those people. So yeah, it's always been pursuing music.
I thought the same, but couldn't sing. So that was
There's a lot of people who can't sing that have made it now. So,
no, but really bad. I mean, like you couldn't even play around this in the recording studio.
oh wow,
But I own up to that. You know, not everyone's gifted in that way. You know, people
yes.
have different gifts, and that wasn't my talent. I tried.
At least you tried.
I did because I was the same. I used to look up to like Michael Jackson and people like that. And
Mm,
my mom was a big, I know it's going back, was a Marvin Gaye fan. So,
yeah,
wanting to sing like that. And he could sound so different. And I was like, oh, he's
yeah.
such an amazing singer. I'd love to be like that. So I used to practice, but yeah, it didn't quite
Oh.
go anywhere.
It's probably not that bad if you practice.
So when you're recording songs, what impact do you want that song to have on your listeners?
I think it depends on the song. So sometimes
Yeah.
I'll write a song thinking about a specific person, and I'll be like, this is what I wish I could say to them. So to be honest, that songs like that are more personal to me, and I'm just like, I don't really care if the fans like it. Does that person like it? Um, but outside of that, I try to inspire people and try to make people think differently. And a lot of my music I write from the perspective of a woman because I'm a woman, but I want
Of course.
women to listen to it and think, oh, I can say that in that way rather than in that way. Like, as much most people can tell, I'm quite demure. Like, I don't put a lot of myself out there in terms of my physical self, and that's just because I feel like women shouldn't feel the need to get very far. I want them to hear that message in what I say and in what I'm doing.
100%. But I'm kind of old fashioned, so I'm with you on that. But like another woman would say, why can't I just This is
I
what I.
don't ever say you can't. I just think, mm-mm, why? My
Yeah,
question to that woman would always be why, and don't say to me that it's because you feel sexually empowered, because I am a highly empowered woman in that sense, very much so. But I don't feel like that is something that needs to get advertised to everybody.
I'm
So, but that's
totally with
also
you.
my own personal view. So, if
I'm,
they want to advertise it, you got it, flaunt it, all that good stuff, but know what comes with it in but on both sides. So, as a woman who doesn't show a lot, what comes with that is way less male attention, way less men wanting to pay attention to what I'm doing because I don't have my bits out. But for the women who do, then you get far more male attention, but not for what you're actually trying to get it for. You want people to look at your product or look at your business or respect you, but then
yeah,
you have to know what comes with the things that you put out there. I think that's the main thing. I don't shame anyone for doing it, but just know what comes with your thing.
yeah, 100%. I'm all with you. I'm all for your talent being your
Mm.
voice, and if you're a singer, that's your talent. You see what I mean?
Mhm.
If you're a model,
Very
obviously
much
it's about
so.
your look and the
Mhm.
clothes you wear. You see what I mean? So in my head, I'm old school like that. Though I've always been like, look,
Mm.
she's a great rapper, not she looks amazing or she wears
Yeah.
she wears next to nothing. You know, that's not gonna
Yeah.
make me buy your album.
Yeah.
It might
But
make me
it
buy your
makes a
talent.
lot of other people. uh,
I might purchase something else, just not the album.
hey, I think as long as the money finds their pockets,
You
they
know what
don't
I mean?
really
And that's what
mind.
it's about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's just a brand to them. They're just
Mhm.
selling whatever. If people are gonna buy into this whole sex, my
Mhm.
sexy image or whatever, then that's fine because it's still success because the money's coming my way and they kind of look at it that way. But for me, that
I,
that
I
kind of
understand it.
it feels it that feels on the outside anyway. I don't know them, do I personally? But I'm just saying from the outside looking in, it just looks a bit empty to me. I don't know what you're left with
Mm,
after years of doing that. I don't know how you feel as a person and how fulfilled you can really feel after doing that. I don't
I
know.
wonder. I don't know. But it's a good question, and I guess not many of those people get asked that because I'm not even just thinking about women. There's a lot of men that do it
Oh,
as well that are
exactly. That's
thirst. This is
right.
thirst trapping, as they call it. So I don't know. I can't think about it because I don't do it. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean? But I know for myself, I feel highly offended when I only get attention because of how I look. Like and if anyone that I know can tell you this for a fact, I get genuinely offended. I'm like, I have so much to offer as a human aside from looking good. If I got mangled tomorrow, I could still tell you the most random facts you don't need to know. I could still sing you a beautiful song, and I could still be a great person to you without my face. So I don't know. I think a lot of people aren't too sure of who they are and they're not too comfortable in that yet. So it's like, well, this is what I have, this is who I am, and this is what I've got to offer. And that's fine if that's how you feel, but just look deeper in yourself, I think.
Oh, 100%. What has been the best performance of your career?
Ooh,
The
I've
one that
done a
just stands out.
few. I think the last one I did, I can't speak too much on, unfortunately, but that one is most definitely the best, like in terms of what it's for and
Mm.
vocally, the band. I had backing singers that weren't my friends for the first time, like actual backing singers and stuff, which after 10 years of being in the music industry, it's a crazy that that's only just happened. But at the same time, that gig felt like I've made it. That's that gig
Oh,
that felt
really?
like it. But yeah, that's the gig that felt like I made it. I've done a TEDx talk gig. I did Aston Villa, Players Awards. I've done Birmingham City Football Ground. I've done just like really good, decent sized gigs. But I think this one that's coming up, that that's this top. I'm really, really
Did
proud of it.
you really feel like you was born to do this? That feeling that
Without
you-
question, like
you're doing the
I
right
at
thing.
no point do I ever say to myself, "What am I doing?" Like whenever there was one point in my life I stepped away from music because I thought I'm just wasting my time. But
Mm.
I never thought I wasn't talented. I thought that the path and like especially looking at the industry today and how it's changed, I was like, I've missed my whole window. I should have been born 20 years ago. Like
Absolutely.
this is not the time for me.
Especially your sound,
But
yeah.
yeah, it's with my sound, with the way I prefer to be marketed, everything. I just feel like I kind of missed a whole generation that would have appreciated it more. But yeah, I also can't imagine myself doing anything else. Like when I get a free chance to do anything, the first thing I do is go on Logic and start producing or get out a beat and start writing a song. So it must be my thing.
Yeah, but you know what it is though? Why you one of the accounts I like following on Instagram is because it's real. It's
Mm,
about who you are and the kind of process. You're not like skipping stages. You're not like showing you just taking, like having all these, very sexy photos taken of yourself
yeah.
or in these great locations around the world and, or in a fast
Mhm.
car or something, or you see what I mean? It's kind of,
Yeah.
you show the realities of it, with your
Mhm.
building tracks and you put it out there to your followers about any ideas about song lyrics, whatever it is. But that's real because you're making your followers and your fans buy into your process of making it, and I think that's more important than anything to
It
me
is.
as a fan of a singer. I always
Mhm.
prefer that. I always prefer to know them as a person.
I feel like when you listen to somebody and you just listen to their music, you can get a whole totally different perception of who that person is,
Yep.
especially if you don't write your own music. So for me, I want people to see me struggle. Like in the last video I put out, where I made half a beat and then just decided, oh, I don't even like this beat anymore. Yes, see that. I want you to see that. I want you to know that it took me 2 weeks to make a song because I decided I didn't want that anymore. I decided I wanted to do this instead, and I decided I wanted to do a whole little music video in my bedroom instead. Like I feel like it is really important for people to understand that so much more goes into the creative process than we have ever been led to believe. Even like getting on stage, I thought you just, you know, get up there and start singing and you do your thing. I never realized how much rehearsal time, stage rehearsal time, dress rehearsals, band rehearsals, like
Wow,
it's
a lot.
you do
There's a lot,
a
isn't it?
lot. Yeah, just to get the final product, so much happens beforehand, and I think the process is the fun bit. That's the bit
Mm.
people don't realize. That's where the fun is. The rest of it's your job. You've got to get that photo taken, or you've got to get that song done. But in the time that you're doing it, you need to appreciate every minute. So, and I want you guys to see.
Yeah, no, that's what I really enjoy. I was thinking about any skills that you've learned that has really helped you with your singing career, like maybe other jobs you've done or.
Um, the only one I can say that really, really, really helped me in terms of my career was my first job ever. That was in France, and I worked
Really?
in a factory. Yeah, I worked in a factory with my sister, and the presses. Every time I heard the like factory presses, they'd make a rhythm. So every day I'd
Really?
hear a new rhythm, and I'd write to the different rhythms that I
Wow.
was hearing. So it made me really creative. Um, but outside of that, all the other jobs I've done have been soul draining. They have, I'd say bar work has made me a lot more able to speak to people because I have social anxiety and I really, really struggle, especially as a musician. I used to go to gigs and just leave, like go do the thing and be like,
Really?
I'm out of here, guys. Don't even look at me. Don't talk to me. Don't tell me I did good. Bye. Because I couldn't handle it. I didn't know how to interact with people very well. So working in bars and having to deal with drunk people, you learn, you learn real quick.
You don't
But
have a
that's
choice, though, do
definitely
you?
benefited me.
In that
Pardon?
environment. In that environment, you don't have a choice.
Exactly. You
You
got,
just have
but
to do it.
you don't technically as a musician either, really.
Yeah.
If you want to do well, you don't really have a choice. You do have to talk to people. But it took me realizing that I burnt a lot of bridges on
Mm.
accident by just not talking to people to realize that it's that your relationships are way more important than your talent,
Oh,
unfortunately. But
100%.
it's the case. You need to keep good relationships with people.
Definitely. Definitely. That's so important, isn't it?
Mm.
Networking, you know, as keeping those relationships going, because you never know when you might need a favor, or or you
It's
might meet
true.
someone at another point in that journey of yours. So
Hmm. It's
treat
true.
people like
Uh,
you want to be treated, basically. That my mum used to always say that to me, and that always
yeah,
stuck. you
it's
know
very true.
I don't want to be treated in a bad way. I want to be treated in a positive way, and so I treat people that same way. So you know
Mhm.
so talk about what singers have inspired you.
Oh, everybody. I guess I nowadays it's like Anderson Paak and Lucky Day, Brandy, Jasmine Sullivan, like the ones that are doing things that you actually they blow your mind even as a musician. Sometimes you hear a song and you're like, oh, I know exactly what chords he used without even really
Yeah.
trying, you're like, oh, that was so basic. But when I hear things like when I hear people like Anderson Paak or Jasmine
Mhm.
specifically, I'm like, yo, where did you come from? Like, where did you come from? And then naturally growing up, it was people like Whitney and Mariah, Beyonce, well, the whole
Definitely.
Destiny's Child, any of those groups. Like, I'm heavy on harmonies because of singing with my sister growing up. So any group you can think of, SWV, Boys to Men, especially Boys to Men, even like NSYNC and Britney, people I shouldn't be admitting. we were, I
No,
was
come on,
heavy into music. Anything that anything, literally anything. We'd listen to anything. So I think I took inspiration from every single body.
when you said NSYNC and Britney.
the,
No, no,
the shame.
listen, I love that because I remember when I was really young, I used to listen to everything. Before I got into my later teens, I used to listen to rock music, uh,
Mhm.
country music. From my mum used to love country music,
Yeah,
soul,
my dad did.
reggae, you name it, everything I used to listen to. And then I
Hmm.
got into my later teens, and it wasn't cool to be listening to certain genres of music.
Exactly.
So I used to have to pretend that, oh no, it was only R&B and hip hop. No, it was only the cool stuff
Yeah.
I could listen to. And then you know what was good about Jodeci? I remember seeing an interview with Jodeci,
Hmm.
and they said when they were asked about music and what inspires them, they said we listen to everything.
Hmm.
We listen to rock, we listen to pop, we listen, and that's when I got back and I was like, you know what? If like one of my favorite bands of all
Hmm.
time listen to, why should I be ashamed of listening to other forms of music if I enjoy
It's
it? What's wrong with that? So then I went back to, I started listening to my pop and my indie music again and
yeah.
just everything again because music's open to everyone. I don't, it's a shame when you
Hmm.
when you have to start thinking that, oh, I can't because maybe because of the color of my skin or something,
Yeah.
or I'm meant to be.
It's definitely that. It's
The
definitely
same.
that. I think I when you live in certain areas,
Yeah.
and you're around certain people, you are expected to behave in certain ways. And I think for me, I grew up with very African parents. They did not care if the road was all listening to reggae. We were listening to African music and country music and maybe some Marvin Gaye. And then as I got older, slowly but surely, other music was introduced. And my mom loved hip hop, but I mean like the hip hop, the hippie to the like she
Sugar
loved
Hill Gang.
that hip hop. Yeah, so we used to listen to that.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. The
as I
origin.
got old, yeah, the original, where it came from, and I think
Yeah,
that's
I'm all about that.
why, yeah, I think that's why I still to now, as much as I'm like Britney, I'm not too ashamed because every music genre just stems from one place. It all came from one place, and that was us. So you could turn around and be like, that's white music. It wasn't to begin with. It might be now, but even then, music has no color. It has no race. It is just
That's the thing.
what resonates with you. what I
Exactly.
will say is pop music today is full of so little soul in general that I shy away from it because it doesn't have anything. It lacks substance for me. But saying that, if someone pops on Ariana Grande tomorrow, I'm not gonna say turn that off. I'm gonna be like, okay. So
Yeah,
there's
because
room for it.
yeah, of course there is. Like, and I like that. I like that. But for me, I
Mm,
see that as life as well. There's room for everyone. Doesn't matter where you're from or whatever. I've got friends from all over the world, all different nationalities. And and me, I'd like to experience all different things. You should never be like in this box. So because I'm a black man or black woman, I should only experience these things. Why are we doing that? Because no, our ancestors or whatever going further back, they experienced all sorts of things. It wasn't just one type of music or this thing or what. They traveled, they went everywhere, didn't they? So since the
mhm.
beginning of time. So why are we always in this? Oh no, because we're black, we need to be watching this or listening to that or dressing this particular way or
Because
be this way.
we've created our own stereotypes here, and it
Yeah,
really like there's the stereotype that they put on us, and then there's what we expect from one another, and that's where the problem is because we expect each other to kind of still act as their stereotypes, but with more rules. Like, okay, yeah, you can be ratchet, but you have to be ratchet in this way. But wait, can't I just behave myself? Like, do you know what I mean? Everything is like, okay, well, even with the N word, okay, so you gave us a negative word and we've taken it and now it's our word that we've made our thing. You can't say that no more, that's ours. Yet it really is ours. Like, really don't say it. But like at the same time, like we do that with everything that they kind of label us as. We just take it and we make it ours until they want it back. And you're like, it's not really the best way to go about things. If we just do us unapologetically, and I mean every single black person does whatever they within themselves feel like is right, unapologetically, they'll stop separating us. Honestly, like there's a bag of white people that act black that we accept because we're like, oh, they did this one thing that makes them blackish, so we're like, yeah, we'll let that one person get away with chilling with us or whatever. They do the same with us. Oh, that's all right. That's Black Steve or that's Black. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, there's that one cool black guy. No, we're all people. We should all just do you. If you don't like watermelon, don't eat watermelon. Just because you're black, you don't have to. You know what I mean? Like, I think we all need to kind of forget what is expected of us and just do what feels good.
but you made me start. I don't want to get too deep on here because it's meant to be about.
Sorry.
No, 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 not about what you said. What I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say myself. No, 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 that's
Mm,
great because it's about you. So if you want to talk about that, that's fine. I was just about to say something, but what I'll just quickly say is, for me, it feels like we're not being free because
mm,
we do this. Because that
mm-hmm.
state of mind is almost like a type of slavery.
It is 100%.
What our ancestors fought for was freedom, and that's freedom of thinking as
Mm-hmm.
well. It's not just us being able to do whatever we want. It's also your freedom of thinking, your
Of
thought
mind, yeah.
process. Because that's the real freedom is in your mind to be able to be like, look, I can do whatever I want. I could dress the way I want, say whatever I want. And that's what they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we talk about equality and freedom, and that's what they really mean. It's beyond also
Exactly.
being able to do it physically, but mentally believing and knowing you can. Yeah. So yeah, let's move on.
Definitely. Yeah, sorry about that. We can do that next time.
That can be a topic of the next.
Definitely. Good to
Right.
see we're passionate people.
Yeah, no, listen, you have to be. You know what? You have to be. You have to be. That's what it's all about. You want to achieve things, you need to be passionate. You don't have passion, then what's the point? No one's going to believe in you. You're never going to believe in yourself. You need that to move on and be successful and achieve goals. You need passion. That's what drives us, that will to succeed. So talk about your inspirations around your music writing. Where do you get that from?
From life mostly. So there's been times I've written from other people's perspectives,
Yeah,
and
that's
to
cool.
be honest, I never really liked them songs. I'm like, I'll write them, and I'm like, I hate this song. Why did I ever make this song? And I have a whole EP that I'm like that about. Honestly, I'm like, I hate this. I hate this because it's not me, and they're not my
Yeah,
stories.
I can
So
understand that
yeah,
because
no,
that direct connection with the
yeah,
song. It's like this is not this is
it's
not.
not me, even though I wrote it. It's not me. So like I'll sing it and I'm like, this just sucks. I don't even want to sing this song. Does anyone want to do it for me? Do you want to like I don't like it. So now I write about what's going on with me, I guess. But I'm still very private, so I keep it to very specific
Yeah, no,
subjects.
I hear that.
Very specific, but I'm trying to break out of that because I want, like I said, if I can show my process, like I can show messing up chords or me just dancing around my living room, I can say something a bit more emotional. Like it's not gonna kill me. So
But you know what? You when you
that's
said
one
that,
thing.
then you kind of took me back to a time in the 80s, for instance. I'm showing my age now.
Mm.
Um, where music was just feel good. It was about feeling good,
Mm.
and it could be just dancing around your room, dance, dancing in the street.
Yeah,
so,
but I think the
so
problem now is that that's all music has been since then,
yeah,
really. Like
yeah,
there was a point in the 90s, mostly with hip hop and like in pop genres and folk genres, where people got a bit emotional, mostly angry.
yes,
But
felt
now yeah, now it's still really, it's either really angry or really sexy, and there's not really much in
fun.
between. Yeah, there's barely any fun, and there's not a lot of love. So what I've been doing is I've been writing love songs, unashamed, unashamed in 2021. I am happily writing love songs because most people won't do it. They're like, oh, that's gay. There ain't nobody in love. I'm coughing rare, 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 and they're all out here with 7, 8, 9 man and or women on OnlyFans doing their thing. Cool, whatever. That's fine. I want you to be in love. That's what I want for you. I want all of you to go out there and find some love, not even if it in a partner. Love yourself, love your
Exactly.
child, love your life, love the universe, love that you're blessed with life every morning. Just stop being so angry or thinking that the only thing that you are worth is sex in this world. There's so much more. So that's my inspiration. I'm trying to change people's mindsets. I'm sick and tired of everybody being so angry and horny. Fed up.
Are they, or they're just sheep and following something that's making people money?
Well, there's that too. That too. But I'd like to imagine more people have their own minds. But from what we see, the internet is a very powerful tool of
Big time,
suggestion.
big time, definitely. But yeah, I sometimes see that. I think people are just following something because they got a friend who's done it. They're making decent money. Okay, let me do that, and
Yeah,
I can make a
I
quick.
feel that a lot in the music industry. I think a lot of people in the last few years have come into the game thinking it's a really easy way to make some money. And if you're a rapper, yeah, cool. It is really, really quick. It's like a lot of them come off the roads and they apply that to music and
Mm,
they flip their tunes. And it's really smart. But a lot of us, like regular singers and, you know, anyone who does anything that's not like drill or road or trap music or whatever, we have to then figure out how to keep up with that.
I
Like
hear you. Yeah.
it's impossible. It's really hard. So yeah, it's an interesting place to be.
Right. What advice for aspiring singers would you give?
Don't do it unless you love it. And that is literally for anything that comes up in music, from opening your mouth to sing a song. Do
Mm,
not sing it if you don't love it. Don't sign that deal if you don't love what is coming to you from that deal. Don't do that show if you don't love what you're doing.
yeah.
If literally if your gut tells you no, it's no. And trust me on this. Like any singers out there, male or female, if your gut tells you no, it is no. Don't do it. Because like I said, I've been in the game for 10 years and I'm still not in a position that I would particularly call too successful. I do well, but I'm not on a level that I would like to have been in after 10 years of work. And that will be the case for a lot of people. For a lot of people, you're going to come into this and you're going to think in 2 years you're going to blow, and 2 years will go like that, and you haven't even finished your first album yet. So you got to love it. You have to really, really be like, this is me and this is my life. And be prepared to be broke. be prepared to get lump sums and learn how to look after your money and your business and yourself as a brand, and make sure you get paid.
You
Don't
know,
do nothing if they ain't
that,
paying you.
that's great advice because it's real advice because it's about real experience and what you've gone through. I just think, you know what, I just, have nothing but give you credit for being in that profession, trying to be a singer, because it's so tough with how the music industry has gone. So that whole trying to make ends meet and trying to be a success is a lot harder now. I mean, long-term success, not a flash in the pan. And long-term success, and to keep thriving and paying the bills consistently is a challenge. So no, I respect what you do, and the fact that you're like one of the old school singers that I used to be a fan of, which I appreciate. So that's why I wanted you to come on the show, is bringing back those old singers back when I used to call it real music.
Mhm.
Real music from the soul,
Yeah,
where you can
like
really connect with it,
mhm,
when it's not just
mhm.
about a little phase or something someone's going through. There's more to it. There's something more permanent about the music.
It's about life. I think
Yeah,
that's the best way to put it.
definitely.
Like I am obsessed with, to now. I still watch blues documentaries all the time and jazz documentaries. That is where my heart lives. Like in that time and in that musical era. And I think that was a time that was so important to just be
Mm,
free. It was about, you had to express your freedom because you didn't have it in other
that's right.
aspects.
That's right.
So I think now, especially in like the last couple of years of this COVID time, it's been important to get back in touch with how to free yourself if you can't physically be free.
Oh,
Like if
definitely.
you're physically in, get out a different way. So if you can't sing, meditate. That's my advice. If you can't
No,
like
definitely.
express something in that way, find a way.
Through yoga, through starting your own YouTube channel. You do
Hmm.
it.
Anything, for real. Just do it.
You could do it that way if you like.
Mhm. I think
Right.
any way.
Lyric, would you sing a song for us now? I know I put you on the spot because I missed it in the email. Just to let you
You
put
did.
Lyric on the spot, viewers who are watching this, just to
And I
see.
forgot you asked, so now I don't know what to sing. I'll sing you a snippet of my own
Yeah, no,
song.
it's fine. It doesn't have to
I've
be.
got my laptop right here, so I can really quickly just pull one of them up. Mm, 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 mm. This might not be as quick as I thought it would be. My daughter's playing up to the stairs. Okay. So this is a song that I did very recently, and it's going to be coming out like in the next month or so, but there'll be a live version of it previewed on Valentine's Day. So yeah, here's a pre-preview, I guess.
Why not?
This is called With You.
Cool. You're on the main screen now. It's all about you, Lyric.
Okay. Don't believe in love at first sight. Came through hell, you caught me by surprise. I just can't take my eyes off of you. It didn't take me long to realize you're a blessing that I can't deny. I just can't believe that it's true. 'Cause you got me, you want me, cover me with all of your love. You soothe me, you move me. You're the only one that I'll ever want. Now that I'm here with you, now that you got me too. Sun shines in skies all blue. That's why I'm stuck on you. There you go.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me.
That was lovely. Where can people find you, Lyriqe?
On Instagram and Spotify and YouTube, all under official Lyriqe, which is Lyrique.
Have you got any new releases coming shortly or?
Literally the next song to come out will be this one
Oh,
that you just heard.
thank you very much.
No problem. So yeah, With You will be out. If not February, then March.
Cool.
And then after that, everyone can expect a project from me, but I am producing it myself, so it might take some time.
I'll wait to hear it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, Lyriqe.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. See you soon, yeah?
All
See
right,
you
see
later.
you soon.
Thanks.
Bye.